We're going to be bearing in mind the importance of early talk this week. So you might have noticed when your babies were very young how they responded more to high-pitched noises, talking, sing-songy voices, more than just the sort of monotone of adults talking between themselves and having a conversation. So the more playfully exaggerated and high-pitched the tone is, the more you would see your baby's eyes light up and the smile begin to appear, and every adult craves that smile from a newborn baby. So 80% of the brain's physical development happens in the first 3 years of a child's life. And the brain gets bigger, it forms connections, and that helps the child to think, learn, and process information. These connections are called synapses, and they form at a hugely fast rate in those first 3 years. I think it's about 700 connections per second, and they develop billions of them. So speaking to your baby fires up those important synapses in the part of their brain that handles language. So the more words they're hearing, the more connections they're building, and the stronger those connections are getting. And that process can strengthen your child's future language skills and their overall ability to access learning. So bearing that in mind, at around 18 months, and this isn't definite for every child, it's just a guideline. So think about which of these things your child, if they're getting towards 18 months or they're over 18 months, which of these things do they enjoy doing? Have they grasped the concept of yet? So simple games like peekaboo, pat a cake is a nice action rhyme, and playing with toys that make noise, so things that engage them in a sound way. Have they started to understand simple words? Have you noticed that they understand drink, shoe, car, and do they follow simple instructions like find me or give me, kick the ball, give mummy a kiss? And can they point to things that you specified? For instance, book, car, shoe, cat, dog, if those things that are significant in your life. Have they started to use simple words? So can they use a word like cup, daddy, dog, cat? Now these might not be clearly distinguishable to other people outside the home, but you can understand what they are trying to communicate. Do they gesture or point to things that they need? So if they haven't got the words for something, do they gesture or point to what it is so that you can understand what their needs are? And have they started to copy, trying to imitate noises, sounds, words that you use often? And starting to enjoy simple pretend play, for example, pretending to talk on a toy phone or having baby conversations with their favourite toys, teddies, dolls, whatever it may be. So have a think and reflect and see which of those things do you think your child is starting to grasp or already has. Perhaps they're already starting to form good sentences to communicate. It all very much depends on the age of your child and their development. So this week's activity, bearing in mind the importance of early talk and hearing lots of different words used, I'm going to be asking you over the next week to sing as many songs as you can. So we all know familiar nursery rhymes and songs from our own childhood. I'm going to introduce you to a couple more which are nice little activities with actions to do that you could use as well to add to your growing list of songs that you do at home. So have a think about the ones you know, maybe Hickory Dickory Dock, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Row 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 Your Boat, and try and emphasise the words that rhyme so they really start to hear and recognise that words sound the same. And rhyming words will figure a lot in their early education, going into nursery, through preschool and into more formal school. And also try and link with those activities of singing different songs with little making activities. So if you were doing Hickory Dickory Dock, you could introduce them to the song first and just sing that on its own, and then maybe have an activity where you have a paper plate and you create a clock just with pen, crayons, whatever at your disposal. You might want to get really creative and create hands that you can stick on the front with a piece of blue tack. Bear in mind, sharp objects, possibly not a good idea, and the fact that it will get trashed quite soon on. Another activity might be if you sing Row, Row, Row the Boat, which is a child's very common favourite for children. You could make Play-Doh boats. You could draw a picture of a boat as you're singing the song. The ideas are endless, and love it if next week on the Zoom you could come and share with us the kinds of ideas that you managed to come up with to go along with the familiar songs that you were singing at home. So here are a couple of new songs that you might not know with the actions that you can add to your growing list of songs to do at home, just to make things a little bit different for yourselves. Here is the tree with leaves so green. Here are the apples that hang in between. When the wind blows, the apples will fall. Here is the basket to gather them all. And this one involves a familiar tune that I'm sure you'll all know. Okay. This is the way I touch my nose, touch my nose, touch my nose. This is the way I touch my nose early in the morning. And again, you can do the movements to the beat of the song, which is really useful for getting them to learn rhythm as well. This is the way we stretch up high, stretch up high, stretch up high. This is the way we stretch up high early in the morning. There are lots of possibilities to that last song with the tune of Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush. So you could jump up and down, spin around, hop in the air, bend to the floor, touch your toes, balance on one foot, spin round in a circle, use any activity that comes to mind. You could even use it for encouraging the children to help you at home. So this is the way we put the washing in the machine. This is the way we fill up the wash basket. This is the way we pick up our toys. The ideas are just endless the more you start to think about it. So have fun and let us know in the next Zoom session how you got on.